Rule number 2.
Yeah. And then rule number 2, games that end in ties just go straight to penalty kicks. I love it. Nobody needs another 30 minutes. I know.
You mean what I've been saying? What? Let's go. Someone's listening to this.
This is somebody.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We have a ton to get to, lots to talk about. No guests this week, although we do have bangers coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Just us, Sue.
Just us.
Just us.
Before we started, I just wanted to take a second to send my thoughts and my love to the family of Kara Braxton, who is, a member of the women's basketball community, WNBA player. She won twice in Detroit. She played for the New York Liberty, for the Phoenix Mercury, somebody that I spent time with throughout my career, someone that always just brought so much energy and so much love. She is the mom to 2 sons, Jelani and Dream. Jelani is someone that he would come on the trips, on our USA basketball trip. So I've known Jelani since he was like 2 years old.
Oh.
Just adorable. And, sadly and suddenly and tragically, she has passed in a car accident. So I just wanted to mention that, to talk about it, again, impacting obviously the community in women's basketball, but more so her family. So sending so much love to her family. Super, super sad. She was just 43 years old. Really sad.
Yeah. So sad.
And she was, I'm just, obviously in these moments, you're always brought back to some amazing memories. And I feel lucky and thankful that I have some with Kara, but also, of course, what accompanies that is just a deep, deep sadness.
Yeah. I mean, you could feel that through just seeing on social media. I didn't know Kara Braxton or know of her, but being able to at least see a little bit of who she was, obviously hearing the stories from you. Her kid, I think you said, was like swinging on the bus. Like
he currently
put
plays,
your backpacks up.
He currently plays. He's a football player. He was on the Ohio State team that won the national championship in 2024. He's currently at UNC. So give or take, he's probably 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
And that boy was a football player from the jump.
Yeah.
He would literally be, like you said, on the bus rides, like just hanging, on the little kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, like shelf that you could grab.
Yeah.
And we used to have this thing where me and Dee would, we kind of mess with him, we'd be
Obviously.
like, well, that's my backpack. And we go to take his backpack. He'd be like, that's my backpack. He'd be like, that's my banana. I don't know. I'd be like, that's my banana. And then one time we went, that's my mommy. And we cuddled it up to Kara and he was like, that's my mommy. Like I said, just so many fond memories. Like truly, truly heartbroken.
Yeah, it was amazing to see the whole basketball community just, you guys are really tight. It's like a really small, big world.
A lot of shared experiences that are, I kind of feel cheesy using this word, but just a lot of shared experiences that are incredibly intimate.
Mm-hmm.
You really go through a lot with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I never got to be
that.
teammates outside of USA basketball with Kara, but overseas, WNBA, you always hang out. You're always around each other.
Yeah.
Only she would get this, but cover your eyebrows. That was our little inside joke. Anyways,
cover your eyebrows.
Just want to talk about that again, sending so much love. And I guess we'll just start the show.
Yeah, we got to get into the show. Okay. It's showtime, folks. I'm Megan Rapinoe.
And I'm Sue Bird. This is A Touch More. Let's get into it.
Support for this show comes from LinkedIn Ads. LinkedIn now connects more than 1 billion professionals, including 130 million decision makers. And with targeting options like job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, and company revenue, you can focus your spend on an audience that actually matters. That's why LinkedIn Ads delivers the highest B2B return on ad spend across all major ad networks. Spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn Ads and get a $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/more. That's linkedin.com/more. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, first up for the check-in. Winter Olympics has wrapped.
They've been Olympicking.
Oh my God,
wow.
So much has happened. It's
wow.
been so enjoyable. Definitely, this is the most tapped in I've been on a Winter Olympics ever, and I'm so thankful. Real quick, if you haven't seen yet, The final medal count is incredibly impressive. For the first time, Team USA as a whole finished second. So solo second place, that's men and women combined. But to probably no one on this podcast, surprise.
Nope.
The women had more gold medals and more total medals than the men. So they made up for 67% of the gold medals, 61% of the total medals. And for the 6th straight Olympics, the USA women have surpassed the men in medal count. That's including the Summer and the Winter Olympics. Pretty incredible. Give it to me. What's your favorite memory? What do you want to talk about? Where are we going?
It's not a competition, but I mean, we won, you know? We won and
we won like the Olympics and then we won like the other Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think honestly for America, competing against countries who live solely in the Winter Olympics, Norway, Sweden,
I'm looking
Switzerland,
at you.
Shout out Canada. Love you guys, but we're here. We're doing shit in the summer to replicate what we're doing in the winter.
Let's go.
So
Okay,
yeah,
do you
just
wanna
shout
start?
out to our team. Just amazing. Obviously tapped in from like the jumps to the crashes to the podium moments to all of it. And it was just cool. I mean, I think I'm just having this feeling always of like really enjoying being strictly just a fan and watching sports and awesome. Hockey just continues
You
to
wanna
be
start hockey?
Hockey continues to just be the apple
I know. I'm actually
of
lucky.
everyone's eye.
Why am I not in my jersey right now?
What? Big miss.
I was ready for the game though.
Oh. Are you locked in?
Locked in.
I locked in.
Watched the first period and basically a half from my phone. I forget what you were doing, but I was already out of the house and I couldn't come back in because you needed like quiet. I don't know if you were recording something. I forget what you were doing.
in therapy.
Oh, therapy. I knew it was something.
Something important enough that I wasn't watching the women's hockey team.
I was
obviously.
literally on my phone. So I watched the first like period and a half on my phone in my car waiting so I could re-enter the house. And then 2.5 minutes, the goalie gets pulled. You're now on a work call. So you're kind of like off to the side. And I scream out, "Hey, they just pulled the goalie. I think you should come watch this."
I was like, right now?
So in an unprecedented move, that was like super, super early. And then just watching it all unfold. Everybody knows the storyline now. Laila Edwards with the shot. Hilary like through the legs. Listen, we just did a Symmetric commercial where we were doing a little hockey. I don't know. I feel like through the legs is a basketball thing. So maybe it rubbed off.
I mean, I think you're
Look at me,
responsible
look at
for
me,
the
I
gold
know.
medal.
Look at me taking
I think you're responsible. Seriously.
No, that is obviously not what I'm saying. Although I wish I could take credit. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Hilary through the legs, a little deflection to go to overtime, to then, I mean, go and secure the win, 3-on-3, sudden death, intense, real quick. Like, you know, since women's ice hockey became an Olympic sport in 1998, 7 of the 8 final matches have been between the US and Canada. Canada actually leads that series 4-3, but the US has won 2 of the last 3. Let's go. It's like the most friendly, unfriendly rivalry there is in sports.
Literally.
They all play together in the PWHL.
I know. Like all of them.
It's crazy.
All the teams are all the teams are all the teams. They'd have to like know each other so well. There's obviously like a meta conversation happening where it's like, you know, everything politically is happening the way it is. And we're like, beat Canada, but we love you guys.
Blame Canada.
Yeah. I am an utter sucker for storybook moments. I'm talking like, you know, Klay Thompson comes back from his like Achilles ACL back-to-back injuries, his first game back, and I'm bawling. I'm like, this is me at sports. Something amazing happens, and I'm just like, I can't get enough. So Hilary Knight, on the eve of professing her love for her partner, on the eve before, you know what I'm saying. She's engaged now. That's beautiful. Laila Edwards, the first Black player to play on the U.S. team. This new up-and-coming star who's still in college. The new is passing it to the old, and there's all this meta stuff there. Hilary has been the face of women's hockey and one of the faces of, you know, women's sort of like equal pay and equality and like fighting for what they know to be true, which is that people love women's hockey and there's a market for it and there's demand for it. And it's just this amazing moment. And she's older, obviously. And so like you're never guaranteed, you know, obviously Hilary's not in her prime anymore.
Five-time Olympian.
And you're never guaranteed these moments. And she just like shows up and is amazing and like gets that moment. There's so much that I feel like our generation of players just simply missed out on for lots of reasons. Either no one was there watching, or no one would put us on TV, or the money wasn't right, or whatever. And like we didn't always get what we deserved and what we earned. And like this moment just feels like for Hilary, like, and for USA Hockey, but I think for Hilary in particular, who we obviously just love, it's like, what an incredible moment that you can look back on for the rest of your life and is like a crown jewel in this like beautiful career that you've had. So it just is so cool. And I love sports moments like this. And I love that sports provides the opportunity to have moments like this.
Yeah. As the game was happening, I kept calling you over to come back to watch. Like, no, you have come back. Whether it was pulling the goalkeeper when they did, the goal that sent it to overtime, the winning goal by Megan Keller, at every point, what did I keep saying? I was like, storybook.
Storybook.
I just kept saying it over and over. And I think just to piggyback, it's like, it never ends this way. Let's be honest.
Never.
We both retired. It didn't end this way. We had chances. It didn't work out. There's very few athletes that get to have the storybook ending. And that's what makes me feel just like so warm and fuzzy for Hilary, for the whole team. I also really enjoy the fact that there was a storyline, not just USA Canada, but the makeup of their rosters. We talked about on this pod. Canada took a little bit of a seasoned, more veteran, older team, whereas the U.S. had a lot of younger players. And I think you actually saw it play out in the course of that final. I'll actually take it back to the game that we were at, which was pool play. So a week prior, the USA totally killed Canada. And honestly, that had like younger players ready for the game, pool play written all over it. And like older, wily vets being like, I mean, it matters, but we're fine.
We're gonna suss it out.
And then the way the final played out, it was like a Canada-dominated game, you know, obviously up 1-0 for majority. And then it was like the youngsters of the USA, they just kind of stayed with it. And before you knew it, by the end, they were the vets.
Yeah.
They kind of figured it out.
Great leadership.
And they showed themselves. Yeah. So that was just so much fun to watch. Congratulations to them.
Megan Keller's goal was straight
nasty. Yeah. Nasty. I mean, I feel like in soccer, I feel like I can come up with for soccer, it's like you megged the goalie almost, like, or you megged somebody that led to a goal.
You megged the defender.
Yeah, that led to a goal.
Yeah.
For basketball, I mean, it's obviously a crossover. I'm like, is there something even worse?
Like a
I think
poster?
It's like no, I think it's like you crossed them up and they fell.
Ooh,
that's how it feels.
Touched earth?
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, so that was unbelievable. There was more that happened in hockey. We'll get to that in a second. Let's move to figure skating.
The Bay Area's finest, or as they say, the Yay Area's finest. Alysa Liu, just taking the world by storm. By the sheer force.
With a huge smile.
By the sheer force of her authenticity and her personality. Like, how cool. Her hair's wild. She's got the like ring thing in her lip, on her teeth. She's just exuding joy.
Exuding, this is who I am. And I don't give up. That's what she's exuding.
Well, she's from Oakland. So that's...
I mean, I'm sure some of that, though, is being on the scene at 13 years old. This could go either way. I mean, we've seen how when kids have early success, not just in sports, like really, really any world, where that can be tricky to navigate. I feel like for her, she's kind of like leaned in even more to who she is, right? Like obviously took some time away from figure skating, came back, won the first gold medal in like 20 plus years. And, you know, watching that final free skate, it was just, you could really see it. Johnny Weir actually went on Kylie Kelsey's pod and talked about this, just like this kid who somehow manages the pressure by just being herself. And that's, I mean, we're talking elite mindset here. This is the battle for all of us as athletes.
Literally. I love that point because the only way to really, really, really genuinely manage the pressure is to be your authentic self. And it is so hard. You're managing pressure. You're managing stress. You're managing your own expectations, other people's expectations, the world's eyes, like this political climate, all of it. And it is so hard. And yet it is the only thing that you can do to help yourself. I feel like I always want to like express that to athletes and caveat with it is so difficult to do.
I know, it's like, be yourself.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
So easy.
But it's like counterintuitively, everything just becomes so much easier. And you can actually just rely on all of your training and all of the muscle memory and all the things when you're yourself. And it's just beautiful to see.
In a sport, and Johnny Weir said this, so I'm stealing it. In a sport where you're just judged. Every single movement, how you pointed your finger, how you landed, did you hit your toe pick right? Judged. And she was just out there like doing her thing, like, I don't give a. My favorite is how they're starting to slide on their knees. I don't know if that's like a new, listen, I'm new to figure skating.
True.
I've watched at the Winter Olympics, of course, but I don't like pay attention. I don't know how many years it's been in, but they've been sliding on their knees. I love it.
Very cool.
Like you always gotta, it reminds me of like the James Harden step back, Steph Curry 3, like the way Caitlin plays. It's like, there's always gotta be like the next generation's gotta, and I feel like in figure skating, this might be it. Go ahead.
It's giving soccer goal celebration.
Yeah, I love the sliding on the knees. It's so dope.
It's
but really
cool.
all the US, both men's and women's
Yeah.
figure skaters did the damn thing. They won the team gold.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for them. Skiing, a lot happened in skiing.
You guys.
Yeah, there was some rides. Michaela Schifrin, shout out. She actually did an incredible Instagram post about the little stick-it note, post-it notes she was using to remind herself of like just what kind of mentality she wanted to have, the things she's been through, how that's actually going to help her get down the mountain. So congratulations to Michaela, incredible. But I mean, where do you want to start?
I think let's start with Eileen Gu.
Let's start with Eileen Gu.
Eileen Gu, American-born, but Chinese, has chosen to represent China. Excellent business decision on her part. I just have to say it.
This is something we talked about. It really, when you're an American athlete,
no shame in that game.
No, you're just competing with so many other great athletes. And it's not to say other countries don't have great athletes. I think it must just be something about the American like media landscape
machine of
and
it
the
all.
machine that is.
Yeah.
But when you're the best in another country,
we've seen
God.
it. Yeah, we've seen it.
It's like I always use like Lauren Jackson, Australian, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, probably the greatest Australian women's basketball player. In America, she's loved, beloved.
Absolutely.
Seattle loves her.
One of the best
she
ever.
gets so much attention, especially when she's playing. But when she's in Australia, she's royalty.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Sam Kerr, same.
Royalty.
Just, that's like, this is our dumb data.
Yeah, it must just be the media landscape and like you said, the machine that is. And
Yeah.
there's also a lot of great players.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, there's a lot of great players in other countries. We'll circle back on
Yeah,
that.
we'll circle back. Eileen Gu, American freestyle skier, competing for China, in a press conference after she had won her silver medal. So she's like in the celebratory press conference, her second silver medal. A reporter asked, do you see this as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost? Let's just play the clip and then we're going to get into it.
Do you see these as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost?
I'm the most decorated female free skier in history. I think that's an answer in and of itself. How do I say this? Winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience for every athlete. Doing it 5 times is exponentially harder because every medal is equally hard for me, but everybody else's expectations rise, right? And so the 2 medals lost situation, to be quite frank with you, I think is kind of a ridiculous perspective to take. I'm showcasing my best skiing. I'm doing things that quite literally have never been done before. And so I think that is more than good enough. But thank you.
Damn.
Bop.
Damn.
That man just got bopped.
Bopped. Tough.
That was
tough.
I mean, she's 22 years old. And that might be the best answer I've ever heard to a question like that. Because even as I heard the reporter ask it, in my head I was like, oh yeah, I guess it would be disappointing. You're supposed to win the gold medal. So like, what would my answer be? And then you listen to her and I'm like, perfect response. Perfect response, especially the part, and we can both relate to winning the gold medal is just as hard for her every time. But the more you win, the expectations rise. And that right there, like that relationship and balance is, as you go through a career, what makes things so challenging. And that's where it gets messy. And she just had incredible, incredible perspective.
I love what she said. Like, in essence, she's like, I'm doing my best. It's amazing. I'm doing things that have never been done. And we've talked about this before. I've talked about this personally. I think we talked about it about Ilya and Malinin of like, you do your best. And sometimes that is the best. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's second. Sometimes it's not medaling at all. Sometimes you're in last place. And that was your best. And she's out here like, well, she's like, I'm good. I'm the best there's ever been. And I'm 22. Like, I'm just doing me. I mean, what a head on her shoulders. But I do love that you can simultaneously hold as an athlete. And sometimes it's hard. And I think this is tricky. And this is where athletes get into trouble a little bit mentally. And it becomes really difficult for us and for them. Is like, you can hold that you want to win everything so bad and you're going to do everything in your power. And it's also okay if you don't. And it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're not working hard or whatever that means. And yeah, to your point, she bopped that man.
Yeah.
So hard.
She did a bunch of really, I mean, I would really recommend going and looking up her interviews. There's one where she gets asked about like, just like how her mind works, like neuroplasty enters the picture. It's really interesting. I'm not even going to try to break it down. Like, go check it out. But another thing she said that I really enjoyed was she talked about the power of sport, like the confidence that it gives you. And she says, because it's like evidence over affirmation, like sports is honest. Like when you're doing it, the feedback of it is honest, right? And it's not always going to affirm. It's actually, more than anything, going to show you what you're bad at. And that is also what I love about sports, what I feel like in some ways sports raised me. Like, yes, I have parents.
Yeah.
But in some
Very
ways,
much.
in terms of like the lessons and how I operate, like a lot of my inner workings, I was raised by sports. And if I'm being honest, that right there, evidence over affirmation and the honesty that sports gives you, it's the hardest part of being a retired athlete who is now like in the not sports world. I usually call it the real world. It doesn't exist as much in the real world. And I really struggle with it.
Yeah.
I really struggle with it.
Wow.
But that's life. Life is a little more nuanced. People don't operate the same way as maybe someone in sports or an athlete does. And it's not better or worse. It's different. And encountering that difference for me is really difficult at times. And that's where I get caught up in like the fairness of it all.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, wait, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
People
are like, welcome to this side of life.
I know. But I love that she said that because I do think, again, I'm biased. I think it's a great way to be raised.
I love it.
Support for this show comes from LinkedIn ads. Sometimes even the strongest B2B marketing ends up in front of the wrong audience. If someone's getting ads for enterprise accounting software when they have zero accounting experience, that's a clear sign your strategy needs a reset. So when you're ready to reach the right professionals, you should check out LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn now connects more than 1 billion professionals, including 130 million decision makers. And that's what sets it apart from other ad channels. With targeting options like job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, and company revenue, you can focus your spend on the audience that actually matters. That's why LinkedIn Ads delivers the strongest B2B return on ad spend across all major ad networks. Yes, that's right, all of them. So if driving B2B growth is the goal, LinkedIn Ads is one of the most effective ways to get your message in front of the people who can actually say yes. Spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn Ads and get a $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/more. That's linkedin.com/more. Terms and conditions apply.
What we also know about sports and downhill skiing
Ugh,
is that shit is crazy.
crazy.
That shit
Those crashes, crazy.
is crazy. And for anybody saying that Lindsey Vonn shouldn't have been there, selfish, whatever. As an athlete, the only responsibility you have is to yourself to get the absolute most out of your career that you want and to wring it out and do what you want. And this is what Lindsay wanted to do. These are choices that she made, and she's fine with it. And it isn't the reason that her leg got crazy mangled up.
Yeah.
But whoa. And just
by the way, I agree. Like, great job, Lindsay. Everyone shut the fuck up.
Shut up. This is Lindsay's life. Don't worry about it. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, but she's now out. She had multiple surgeries. She almost lost her leg.
Yeah.
I thought it was like you hit the pole, you fractured your bottom leg.
They fix it. It's
they
fine.
fix it. Whatever.
She
that's not what happened.
No, she talked about it. I think she did like her own little Instagram post where she talked about just like, honestly, I thought about my own knee because, you know, you have a lot of damage and over time, like stuff goes on in there. And she, you know, she did say she had complex fractures like all over the place, but she also has compartment syndrome. And she was kind of explaining how, I think very loosely, again, go watch her talk about it. There's so much blood in the area. It impacts nerves. It impacts bones. It impacts the space. It impacts the joints. It impacts everything. So when she took the hit, it made it even more catastrophic.
It was ripe for
to her knee.
Yeah.
But yeah, the doctor, she was in, like you said, hospital for 2 weeks. The doctors saved her leg.
It almost
And
got
now she's
amputated.
I know. I can't even, that is, I don't know.
I mean, Lindsay,
I don't even know
sending
what to
you
say.
all of our healing vibes, every single one of them. Wow. Just crazy also just the amount that athletes, particularly winter athletes, we talked about
we talked about
winter
that.
Olympians and winter athletes put their bodies on the line. Just wow, crazy.
Wow.
But we're wishing you obviously a very speedy recovery and hope that you can get home soon and have just a speedy and full recovery. Y'all didn't think we were gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
You knew we were gonna
knew.
have to save
We weren't leaving without talking about this. You knew
something
this.
for the end. In what I like to call a classic ripping defeat from the jaws of victory. The United States men's hockey team, in their utter moment of glory, childhood dreams come true, once in a lifetime accomplishment, sensational, ruined it for themselves because they allowed themselves to be totally co-opted
Co-opted, yep.
by a clown. And now you're a clown. You look like a clown. Kash Patel is in the locker room. He's partying. He's chugging beers. I'm not like decorum over everything. That's not what I need out of my FBI director. Like, what are we doing? That's just whatever, beside the point. They get on the phone with Trump. I have questions whether it was even a secure line. That's beside the point. And Trump makes the comments about the women's team. We're not going to play it because it's all over the internet and we're not going to platform that trash. But he did say, and we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. If I didn't do that, I do believe I'd probably be impeached. And then the men's hockey team erupts and giggles and hars. You just accomplished this amazing thing. He also said, the president, that don't worry, he has medals for you. And I'm like, you have the medal. You have the medal swinging around your neck that you won, that you fought for, that you dreamt about your whole life. And then you just gave this whole moment over to this person who you know is just only going to use it for him, going to totally co-opt it. Hey, first of all, the joke isn't even funny, like from a technical joke standpoint. Like, what? I don't understand the funny part of the joke. And I'm just like, why don't you respect you more than to have that moment be taken by someone who, for no reason at all, just takes a huge swing and a jab at women who did the exact same thing that you did?
So there's so many angles to go at, to hit this with, or to come at it from. And I think like in times like this, I try to find the thing that is the like easiest for me or like simplest to have a conversation around. I try to avoid the argument of it, And to me, what's just like really simple is, because there's been a lot of media done by players, Jack and Quinn Hughes' mom did some media. People are going to be asked about this for a while. What's pretty easy, simple, and hard to avoid in this, I don't know that you can like defend it, is what I'm saying, is like this person who happens to be the president of the United States makes a joke that is and feels dismissive. And I don't get the part where the men's hockey team is actually close with the women's hockey team. This is all we're reading about now.
They were in the stands. The women were in the stands cheering them on.
The men were in the stands cheering the women on.
Exactly.
They hang out in the cafeteria.
Exactly.
As I mentioned, the Hughes family has ties to men's and women's hockey. And there's so much support. And they talk about their friendships and all these things. And I'm just like, if my friends were being dismissed in this way, why would I laugh ever? Period. Take the rest of it out. That's what I don't get. Like these people that all you did was talk about the support. And I think it's genuine, by the way. I actually feel bad for the women's hockey team because they're going to get asked about this and it's going to be hard to talk about their friends.
Yeah.
And given what they did in that video.
It's tough that their friends did that to them.
Yeah. It just feels like, and then you go into the part where Trump is clearly not acknowledging their achievement with that invite. He's just trying to like avoid political trouble. And that's where I'm like, to me, that's where it segues into I thought you were protecting women's sports.
Oh, it's not about that?
I thought you were going to champion it.
It wasn't about about that. Oh.
Those to me are like, I
Tough.
can like at night be like, who can argue these?
I think the choice point for me, because I know what happens in those locker rooms.
Yeah, same.
People get brought in.
Oh, same.
Or
you have no say sometimes.
And all of a sudden,
it's happening.
You're in.
That's a great point.
You're in and you're like,
part of the truth.
Fuck. Like all of a sudden you're shaking the hand of whoever. Someone that you've railed on because like they're, doing inequality against you, whatever, for just to put it bluntly. The choice point, and I don't know exactly who made this. Is it someone at USA Hockey?
No, it came out. The GM of US Hockey is also the GM of the Wild. And I read an article, and I guess what I wasn't clear on, he might be friends with Kash Patel or like somebody. And I think that was the connecting point.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. The choice point is allowing yourself, and listen, if I always say this, like I can't believe how people have such a lack of self-preservation. But if you don't think you're in threat, then you're not going to preserve. So they obviously didn't think that having Kash Patel or having Trump on the phone was a threat. So they're cool with it. But that's why you don't put yourself in this position. Because to have the president of the United States on the phone and he's like, hurt. It's hard not to be like, hurt. Like you get yourself wrapped in this moment. Mm-hmm. So for me, the choice point is like, I would have never, as a captain or a leader on my team, I think you can say the same. I think that would have been clear to our staffs and to the larger organization and support staff. Those people would never be allowed in our locker rooms. I mean, we had this opportunity after 2019. The president.
I don't think they're saying they didn't want them in the locker room. That's kind of where I'm where I whittle it down and get to something
they
easy.
Wanted them in there.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but I don't know that I've heard quotes since that says we actually didn't want them in there.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
I know. So that's where I'm just to me, the choice point is the minute they bash your friends. And by the way, I agree with you. It's there's actually someone in the background that's 2 for 2. My read on that is, we won both gold in men's and women's. We went 2 for 2. So they think they're being supportive, but then it turns. And it's in that moment, why didn't you not stop laughing?
Yeah.
Maybe you were laughing. Why didn't you stop?
Yeah.
Because clearly.
No, totally. And okay,
even if you are a Trump supporter, you voted for him and you're excited in that moment, whole other conversation. he just bashed
That's
your
not
friends.
funny.
He just dismissed
Yeah.
the achievement of these women
Yeah.
that you have been supporting, like genuinely.
Which
That's where I'm just a little confused.
Which
like,
also dismisses what you've done, because it's the same thing. He's dismissing your ass too. It's the same thing. So
not
it's
in
like,
their minds, though.
right. But he is, because he's using you to do something else, which isn't just celebrating your moment.
Right.
He's always going to co-opt. We had the same thing. We had this opportunity after 2019. Obviously, we said, I said famously, didn't know it was on the record, but it was, that we're not going to the White House and that we're not even going to be invited. And the president was trying to back channel and invite us. And we were like, no, because we know, we're not going to be naive in this moment. We know that moment is going to be co-opted because we know this person. Let's not pretend like we don't know who this person is. So that just, I think for me, I left this whole interaction and this kerfuffle, if you will. Yes. Like, why are you laughing at your friends? But also, like, why don't you respect you enough to not be used in this moment for this unique achievement that is truly one of like the greatest achievements in life, I think, because it's like a childhood fairy tale. And now this is what people think about your moment. And that sucks.
Great segue, because I do want to leave on a positive, lighter note.
Yes.
Because this Olympics was amazing.
Incredible.
The coverage, NBC did an incredible job. Hey, they were juggling. Winter Olympics, NBA games.
Oh, man.
All-Star. They had some juggles happening.
They are everywhere.
Women's sports received more Olympic coverage than the men's. Rightfully so. 67% of medals were won by the women for Team USA.
Gotta show
But
'em.
I thought Mike Tirico put just like an amazing, I get not even like an exclamation point because he was so calm and chill about it. Just like a great like conclusion to end it all. And he said, our country loves sports and it brings us together unlike anything else. For all the young people out there, all the Olympics you just watched, those dreams are forged now. Go chase them and go get them. And let's be honest, including the two of us, so many previous Olympians, current Olympians, I mean, legends, you name it. It started by, maybe you're on your, living room floor.
I can see myself.
Yeah. Laying on your stomach, chin on your hands, elbows on the floor,
I'm getting emotional.
watching some Olympic moment. And it sparked something. And I just thought that was so well said. And I was like, sucks to be 45. I wish I was like 15 right now. Because it makes you want, it's just, there's something to that. And there is some little kid out there who watched it and was like, I can be a figure skater.
Yeah.
I could be a skier. I could be a hockey player. I could be Hilary Knight.
Be anything.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that's pretty amazing.
Great way to end. Amazing Olympics. Congrats to everyone who competed and medaled and won and had a great time and fulfilled a childhood dream. Incredible.
All right. That was just topic one.
Wow. We couldn't have had a guest today. There was no space for them.
Nah, it's all us today. Topic two, got some soccer. The SheBelieves roster is out. It is around the corner. It starts this weekend, Sunday, March 1st. Actually, real quick, do you want to just give us like a quick reminder on what the SheBelieves Cup is, who's in it, how it works, just like all the logistics?
Forever and always.
I know where this is going.
Shout out to Lauren Cheney at the time, Lauren Holiday now.
Oh, not where I thought we was going.
I think the year is like 2015 or 16. I think 17 maybe was the first year of SheBelieves, or maybe 16. It basically was just a way to get high-level teams playing against each other at this time in the calendar. US soccer put the tournament on. Back in the day, it was everyone from Germany to Australia to Japan to Brazil to England. Like, it was to Spain. It was the best. It was the best friendly international tournament. Like, it was so hard. It was always the moment for me because it was like after January camp, and it was like, okay, every European team is in form. It was always like, who are we and where are we? It's gotten a little bit because of, schedules. Not as many of the top teams are coming. This year, it's going to be Argentina, Canada, and Colombia. But it's always a little bit of a moment, and I am speculating, but I think this is true. It's always a little bit of a screw turn moment for the manager and for the coach to be like, you know, especially this year. Obviously, it's 26. World Cup is 27. It's like, okay, like this is a friendly tournament, and I want to see my team.
Yeah.
In this, I want to see who's here. So it's a friendly, it's a make 'em up, but it also means something. And I think for me in my era, in my generation of players, it was a huge domestic tournament for us to have a big platform to play great teams, to express our talent and skill on the field, and use that to fight for equality in so many different ways. And it's morphed into something else, but kind of the same exact thing. It's just a great opportunity for this team right now.
I just tried so hard to search and find what Diana called it, and I can't remember. We always get to this time of the year and we forget. Not the SheBelieves Cup, but I don't know.
We'll have to ask her.
God, she doesn't remember. Anyways, I'm sure somebody knows, so put it in the comments.
Yeah, we were in an elevator somewhere, and Cheney had this name, and we were like, it was a joke, and then they named it that, and we were like, we hate it, but then it just kind of stuck, and now it's like funny.
Okay, so last week you talked a little bit about this. Emma Hayes announced this roster, for this cup, much anticipated because she has kind of gone the route of like experimenting with younger players and uncapped players, which means those that haven't been on the national team yet. But the roster that she named, 26 names, did not include any of those uncapped players. So Megan, what stood out?
I think that we're getting to, and I've said this, the business end of this cycle. We don't have a couple things major that stood out. There's no Kat Macario. She's still recovering from some sort of heel injury. I have an underlying fear and anxiety about Kat just because she has struggled. Not her fault, but she has had some injuries. And so I think I'm just like, oh, I hope, and I like need and want her to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think she's like vital. She's like no one else, and she is a very special player in our system with what we have around her. So Kat, get well soon. But she's not on due to her injury.
Okay.
And she's not available for selection with Chelsea yet. So Emma's made it very clear, if you're not playing for your club, you're not coming here and then playing games, which I think is great. Obviously, Mal and Soph are still coming back. I think they're both in training camp. I know Soph is for sure. Mal's getting back. They're coming back from pregnancy. It's just like women are amazing. They're just going to like have a baby and then come back. And it's like, I know that they're just going to be amazing. I'm just like, wow, so awesome. So those three are gone. So we have three of our four arguably best players, but three of our four stars up top gone. Trin's on the roster. I think for Trin, this is a great opportunity to continue to solidify herself as the best up there. Not everyone else is there. You're going to have a lot of the spotlight. Like, how do you step into that? How do you step into that pressure? How do you meet that moment and continue to elevate your game? It's kind of a, if I'm Trin, I always want all those three there. But they're not there, and I'm like, well, it's about me now. So I'm gonna prove what I can do. It's a challenge to yourself almost, that you don't always get, because obviously you have your stars. Make no bones about it. We want them all there.
What about on defense?
Well, there's one more thing. I think there's also an opportunity for, like, these are probably going to be our starting four. Kat will probably play in the 10, and then, those three up top. But there's a chance for Alyssa Thompson and Ali Sentinor and Emma Sears and all these other players. Like, are you going to be the super sub? Those players are like lethal and vital and so important in a major tournament. Who can be versatile? Who can come in and be impactful in 20, 30 minutes? Who can support those players? Who can show that, like, if not for a generational talent, I'd be starting? Who's that player? So I think up front, that's what I see. Defensively, we're great. Like, Emily Fox is playing great. Naomi Girma's the shit. Sonnet's the shit. I think like we're still sort of probably tinkering a little bit with like who the solid 4 is going to be. But tons of experience, I think. Veteran, strong. The midfield, lit. I'm like, yeah, that's Sam Coffey, Lily Johannes, Rose, Olivia Moultrie. Like this is now, it's a youngish to medium core. Obviously, Olivia's young, Lily Johannes is young, but like they all have experience too. Olivia's been playing pros. I
feel like she's scored every time I've watched the last like
she got a knack
6
for it.
months.
She's got a knack for it. Lily, young, but like I don't see her as young. Her mind isn't young in the way that she plays. Obviously, Lindsay Heaps is in there as well. So this is, I'm like, I love this midfield. It's really versatile. There's a lot that we can do with it. Super strong. Goalkeepers, to me, this is going to come down. It's such an interesting position because you basically do nothing like 95% of the time. And then it's like 5% of the time you need to be an elite goalkeeper who can like pick something out of the corner. And then the 95% is game management and how well can you play with your feet. So to me, that's what it's going to come down to. I think that Claudia Dickey is the best with her feet out of all of them. Fallon struggles with her feet. I think getting better. I think playing in Europe has been really good for her, but it's really going to come down to like, what does Emma need and who does she trust to manage the game from the back and to play out with their feet?
2 Seattle Reign goalkeepers.
I know.
It's crazy they were on the same team at the same time.
I know. They were just little babies.
Yeah, little babes.
Yeah, they were just little babies. So that'll be interesting. I think that will just continue to like fine tune itself over time.
Okay. That's actually, thank you. Now I know what to look for.
You're welcome.
And I know what to pay attention to.
Contextualize.
I also heard there are 2 new rules.
Yeah.
So what are they?
I love this. I love these new rules. I love when like something's up and you just like make it better. Anyways, these are the 2 rules. 26 field players allowed on this roster, 23 for each game. So the games are every 3rd day, I think. That's tight. It just allows for Emma to see more. I think it allows always, if you can like bring more players, I'm like, yeah, more players are going to get paid. More players are going to get experience. But I would imagine she would be using most of these players, and it just gives her an opportunity to get high-level games for people without having to play the same roster over and over and over and over again, which is going to be difficult. It's not, the safest for the players. So I love that.
Before you get to the second rule, can you talk about the anxiety of being on a roster, but every game having to wait to see if you're going to suit up?
I mean, I wasn't in that position a lot, but it's terrible. It's terrible. We had it actually at the Olympics in Tokyo for the first time because of COVID. We like had like a bigger roster, but only certain people could dress. And then it was like, we didn't know, like, is everyone going to get a medal or not? Or if you have to play, it was like crazy. It's stressful.
Yeah.
And you usually find out like the day before.
And
you
of course, start to tell in practice though.
Yeah. And then,
I don't know how it is for soccer. In basketball, you can start to sniff that out.
Yeah. And then you got to sit you got to work out early before, and
the
then you got to
worst
sit
part.
in the stands. And
This is
then
how it was for us overseas sometimes because there was limits on how many foreigners
Sucks.
could play in Russian league. So sometimes you would just find, and you could sniff it out. And the worst part was having a workout on your own.
Yeah.
Before practice and then do practice.
With the exception of having the pressure of being the best player and playing all the time is way easier than anything else. You just go, you play, you do it, you're done.
Okay, sorry. So rule number 2.
Yeah. And then rule number 2, games that end in ties just go straight to penalty kicks. I love it. Nobody needs another 30 minutes. I know.
You mean what I've been saying? What? Let's go. Someone's listening to this.
This is somebody.
It's called
the rules
Sue
committee
Bird
for the
rule.
She Believes.
Got the Trinity Rodman rule, the Sue Bird rule.
The winner of the tournament is still, there's no like knockout round. So it's just a round robin. The teams get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie after 90. So both teams, I think, are going to get that point. And then the team that wins gets an additional point after the shootout. So I think it's great. Nobody needs to be like dragging it. Everybody, especially for the NWSL players, everybody's just getting into their preseason. Like it's just we're dragging it and we don't need to. And we're just going right to what everybody wants to get to. So I love it.
Like we said at the top, this all starts Sunday, March 1st. So SheBelieves Cup. Check it out.
Tune in. Okay, moving on.
Topic 3.
Topic 3. I was just saying to you yesterday, I think, I missed the NWSL and the WNBA, and I can't wait till the season start back up. And we're right on the eve of it. Which obviously then we need to talk about the CBA. Listen, it's ongoing negotiation. There's no new hard news that we can report. Which is some good news, I guess. The league is saying that there needs to be at least a handshake deal by March 10th in order to not affect the season, scheduled to start on May 8th. There's a lot to do after the CBA gets done. There's an expansion draft. There's 2 new teams, Portland and Toronto. It's sorting out the craziest free agency, which we are just on pins and needles and just having this hell just out of our reach. Devastating. I hope this happens soon. Free agency is going to be insane. And there's a draft and training camps and all this stuff. The one thing that did come out, which I needed certainly a Sue primer on, was the first time in league history the rev share was triggered. So what does that mean?
Yeah, so it's amazing news. Katie Barnes reported for ESPN that the rev share, there was a trigger in our last CBA, and it got triggered.
Let's go.
This is going to be very layman and loose, so I'm just telling everybody, don't necessarily pay attention to the words, but the sentiment will come through. There was numbers that if they got hit, it would trigger a 50% rev share, where the players would get to take some money home, right, from the actual revenue.
Yeah.
Which, when I brought up the NECA interview, that's what always made it so confusing when people were like, well, if you do the reverse math, they were only getting 7% of revenue. And it's just that's not how it actually was agreed upon or worked. But we did have this trigger, which was great. And they fucking hit it. 2025. They hit it. So my understanding is all the players who are on rosters in 2025 will receive a portion of this $8 million.
Yeah.
And in the article, I had a bunch of people ask me 8? All the teams get $8 million? No. It's $8 million that goes to all the teams.
Yeah,
and the reason why they do it this way, it's actually pretty simple, because the teams have the direct deposits set up. So they're the ones that can but the union, I believe, gets to decide how it gets distributed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's so much that goes into these CBAs.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my
God, my brain hurts.
That's why they're this thick,
I know there's so much. But it's amazing news. It shows where the WNBA has gone and is going. So love to hear that players are going to be getting, a good little chunk of change. The other part of the article was, for those that don't know, the union for probably 7, 8, 9 years has had a group licensing aspect to how they run their business. Yep. I want to say that shows up in if you see Breaking Tea come out with a t-shirt that has someone's face on it and that gets sold, these are all part of the group licensing. And since 2020, which means your girl is going to get a little something, I think, because I played for 2020, 2021, 2022, they have this huge amount of money. I actually think it comes out to 12 million, but then the 9.25 is actually what's going to get distributed amongst players. And of course, that'll be based on, the players that have been in the league since 2020 and are still playing, they'll get more.
Of course.
I'll get my
pro rata.
Prorated. Yeah. Is it rata? That's prorated. Or is that just when you put the D on it?
Yeah.
Past tense.
You guys, we don't know. We don't know. You know what we mean, though. You know what we mean.
So, yeah. And as it says in the article, this will go to over 250 players who played between 2020 and 2025.
I love it.
So that's really cool, too. So, yeah, I mean, business is going well. And that's the best part.
I love it. And when we know more, you'll know more. Because we need to find out when you find out.
Okay. We haven't done one of these in a while.
I know.
Are you a Megan or are you a Sue?
Yeah.
Is this really you? You feel firm about this?
100%.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
This is so my personality.
Okay, here we go. Are you a Megan who, when you zip your backpack, take both zippers and have them meet at the top, and that is how you close your backpack and they stay up there? Or are you a Sue and you zip both zippers all the way to one side, virtually locking it in? Are you a Megan or are you a Sue?
I'm fast and
Would
loose
you
with that
like
shit.
to plead your case? Because I just think it's like begging for your backpack to open. Not all the time. Don't get me wrong. Not all the time. But you're begging for it to be open and someone has to be like, oh, hey, your backpack's open, which to me just sounds like a devastating experience in life. I would rather die than to walk around with my backpack open and have somebody tap me on the shoulder. And I'm saying a lot about myself there.
The amount of times I've laid my backpack down under the seat in front of me and something's fallen out of it because there's a little hole at the top.
Oh my gosh.
I'm fast and loose. I am from small town. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from California. I feel like this is akin to, adjacent to, and in the family of watch my purse. And I'm just like,
I think you have to explain that.
watch my purse is like, if you're from the East Coast, never,
Huge
ever,
generalization.
never, ever are you leaving a bag unattended in a car. Like, you're not
I think what
futzing
blows your
around on the
mind is-
subway. You're not paying attention. Me? I'm not paying attention all the time.
I think what blows your mind about watch my purse is that there is another person there that you're telling to watch your bag. That's what blows your mind. Like,
Yeah.
obviously nobody's leaving their bag unattended on the subway. It's when it's when we're sitting together,
It's when you and I
are sitting together at the airport.
at the airport
Go ahead.
and you get up to go to the bathroom and you say, can you watch my bag?
Well, with you just described yourself as loose and fast. I could come back and you could be getting a coffee.
I might.
I
Because
know.
who's going to take our bags?
Oh my God.
I know.
Just
So-
everybody.
it's
By the way,
just-
if you're at an airport, never leave your bag unattended. It's like burned into your brain.
Literally. So I'm just kind of like, I'm zipping it right up. I feel like it's like a boot, doot, 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 doot thing for me of like having both.
What was that?
You know, like just like a idiosyncrasy or like a OCD or something.
Okay.
That needs to be zipped up into the middle visually. And
Oh.
it just having everything on one side.
I like seeing a smooth zipper on the top.
Ooh, freaky.
Shout out Nancy Bird, the OG Watch My Purse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The OG Watch My Purse.
I've heard her say it many times, and I'm like,
my
it's
whole
on
life.
your body.
My whole life,
It's,
I've been
it's
told
on your body.
to watch my mom's purse. She doesn't say purse, by the way. She says bag. So I just want to like,
Watch my back.
but
yeah.
watch my bag, watch my bag, watch my bag.
Okay.
Mom, we're in the parking lot of the Syosset CVS. I'm 14.
You're
no
also
one's coming
in the car.
here. That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm in the car by myself. I'm 14. No one's breaking in and taking your
Yeah.
bag.
We want
That's
to
all
hear
that's
from
all I
you.
gotta say.
We want to hear from you
Wait,
guys.
real quick. I need to just say how this all came about, which was I was at the airport, ironically, and they had to pull my bag out to do like a little check. I think it was my watch that pulled me over. And when the guy gave me my bag back, it was zipped at the top. And I thought to myself immediately, oh my God, there's 2 types of people in this world. And I don't know that there's an in-between.
No.
I think you either zip it to the middle or you're zipping all the way. I don't know the other. I don't think there's another choice. And I just thought, wow, that's so fascinating. Then my second thought was, what does Megan do?
What'd you think?
So are you a Megan or are you a Sue?
We want to hear from you. We're taking it to the people. Call us. Leave a comment on YouTube or on
This one's
Instagram or
funny.
wherever you leave your comments. But definitely call us. Also, if you have any other adjacent things of this nature, door locking, watch my bag, purse, tell us. Because I think this is a funny little, like, there's a lot of things that
You
go
took
into
this to East Coast, West Coast. You're
100%.
starting a little battle over here.
100%.
I don't really get it, but
100%. Let us know,
we're
guys.
wound tight. Moving on. We got some mailbag voicemails that we're going to take a listen to.
I'm a longtime fan, literally, Sue. I've been a fan since I saw you. I was 6 at the Target Center. Still to this day, whenever I get in drag, I wear my long black ponytail in honor of you. So I've been fruity for a very long time, and I've always felt very drawn to the W because I felt like I saw women like me who were tall. Some had deep voices and big feet, too, and I didn't feel out of place when I watched. I remember in your documentary, you said right when you got to the league, you came out socially to everybody who was like important to you, everybody who needed to know. My question is, what were you guys like doing back in the day? Did you guys go to like gay bars, drag shows, brunch? Like, I'm just curious about things that you guys did back in the day that fostered a queer community for yourselves.
Great question. I love it.
Great
Thank you so much
question.
for sharing that. I'm actually going to answer So Target Center means Minnesota.
Oh, girl,
So I think we're talking to a Minneapolis native here.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is like, yeah, we were going to all those things. On the road, we would go out, we would go to gay bars, we go to drag shows. We went to gay 90s, and that's why I'm shouting out Minneapolis. It got a little rough towards the end of my career, but gay 90s was always a spot that we would check out. I can't remember if it was like Sunday night or Tuesday night, but I think they had a drag show that we would try, if we were in town, we would try to go to. What's interesting is, I think back then, and when I say back then, I'm talking like my early years, right? I get drafted in 2002, probably from like that to like 2008, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Let's say in that range of time. Because, we weren't all like out and about being gay left and right. We found like the release in going out to gay bars or to drag shows or whatever. Not brunch. I don't think any of us were like mature enough to be thinking about a boozy gay brunch. But back then, like that was like our release. That was where we got to like feel that energy. And I think in a wonderful way, you now have the choice a little bit where you don't have to just go to a gay bar to like feel that. You can feel it in your own like friendship groups, community, like in the WNBA for sure, just like being in it.
Yeah.
And I think players now, I would say like probably go out to gay bars less. But also it's just because like regular bars are kind of just gay bars now all the time.
Yeah.
It's like there's like people, it's like you just kind of do the thing. So that was definitely something I noticed in my 20-year career. Like I said, maybe like after 2010, it like slowly became, we went to gay bars specifically less. Not because, but more because we were able to be ourselves at, for lack of a better,
more
regular
places.
bars.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think one thing it made me think was like we were our own gay bar all the time. So if we're having a house party, that's a gay bar.
Yeah.
If we're having, like if we're going out to eat or drink, if we're going to a club, if we're like, yes, we went to gay bars and we did like all kinds of stuff. But I think because women's sports has always been such an open and welcoming place, and the locker room is generally a place for a long time.
It's a gay bar.
Where you're out. Yeah. I mean, the locker room is the OG gay bar. Generally, I would say, and this obviously some, not everybody was out all the time, but like we would do things at people's house or have a barbecue or do a pub crawl. And it was always just like, it was a gay bar. And then obviously our teammates that were straight were just like there too. Like it was just sort of, it was all encompassing all the time.
Yeah.
I think something that has happened a little bit as everyone's becoming more popular and
oh yeah, you can't.
Is that
you can't go to gay bars.
Going to a gay bar as, I don't know, like Gabby Williams or us or, insert famous gay. It's like, whoa. Not in a bad way.
No.
But just in a way that like you also like want.
You're in a fishbowl.
Yeah, you're in a fishbowl and you want privacy and, which it's kind of sad because gay bars are just like amazing.
So fun.
But no, I mean, still to this day, when we go to vacation, we're like, where's the lesbian bar? Let's check it out in France or, whatever it is.
Let's not do the detailed version of this, but on kind of like a whim, we were out to dinner. I'm not even going to name the city. We were out to dinner and we were like around the corner from a gay bar. We're like, just go in. Oh, I've never felt older in my life. I had to exit immediately.
We were like, whoa.
And I was like, now, you know what I need to do? I need to go to brunch.
Yeah, now we need.
I need to go.
Now we need the boozy brunch.
I am now in my brunch era.
I think also what was happening was like, we were though like insatiable, and still are, for any gay news. Whether that was like when the L word came out, or like I remember looking at like Autostraddle website because it was just gay stuff, like gay news, or like. Not literally Ellen, but like Ellen. Like we just didn't have a lot. So then it was like, oh, is that person gay? Or, oh, that athlete's gay. Or we connect dots better than any conspiracy theorist ever could. And our success rate is in the 95s. Like we're nailing it.
We're
nailing it, whether it ever comes true or not. It's true. So we have that like network, this sort of underground of like knowing what's gay and what's not. And I feel like we were always like seeking that out so much, while also like having the amazing experience of being able to be in a community of people, your team and your league, where like it was cool that you were gay.
Yeah.
And celebrate it.
So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for the straight ponytail shout. I love that that's a part of your repertoire when you get
So
dressed in
good.
drag. That was a moment in time for me, the straight ponytail.
Yeah.
It was a moment in time.
It was a good one.
So
It was a good one.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that memory.
Just a touch more, a little bit. Just a touch more.
Yeah.
Moving on to a touch more. Sue, what do you have a touch more time for today?
I have a touch more time for the announcement that ESPN recently made where they will be replacing summer Sunday night baseball with women's sports Sundays. This is, listen, long
it.
overdue. I'm not even going to go down I'm not doing it. We all know it's long overdue. What matters is it's here. And it's going to have coverage mostly of the WNBA and NWSL. Those are ESPN's big properties. They're going to have, like, as they put it, like bespoke programming, shoulder programming. This is how you drive even more business. It's very exciting. You know, like I said, WNBA, NWSL, but I'm sure they'll tap into like other women's sports as they go. And it's really, you know, the financial services firm Ally, who has been in women's sports now for a while.
Years.
I wanted to read this part. They struck a deal with Disney to have 90% of its ad dollars allocated to women's sports programming. So shout out to Ally. That's awesome. Major.
Love it.
You need companies. I mean, and then there's others. There's other aspects of, there was an article in Variety talking about this where they just talk about like the larger world of the business of women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously affiliated with, you know, Deep Blue. And this is something that I've learned from Laura Carenti, just like it was so hard, even if you wanted to be in women's sports.
Yeah.
It was so hard because of lack of properties. The way people, you know, evaluated those investments was different. Like bang from your buck.
Yeah.
It didn't really exist in women's sports.
She introduced to me the concept of inventory.
Yes.
And there not being enough inventory to buy and sell and go around and have the business of, as it was like in that sort of like acute stage of growth.
Yeah. And so this article talks about that. And I just think it's such a moment. It's a moment for ESPN to have this type of programming. It's a moment for these brands and these other companies to see that they have the opportunity to invest in women's sports now. There is more inventory. So I'm very excited about that. And that is what I have a touch more time for. What about you, Megan?
Very smart business move by ESPN, and one I am happy they have made. I have a touch more time. We're still giving a touch more time to efforts to oppose ICE. We want to start with a little voicemail from a listener, and then we're going to get into this week's to-do.
I just want y'all to know how much, like, in Minnesota, we appreciate you guys talking about this. It has just been incredibly difficult, the way that they have been brutalizing our neighbors. So thank you guys so much for talking about it, for real. It means so much.
We just wanted to play that to say thank you to this person. Sometimes we're like, are we just talking to ourselves into these microphones? But we're all in this together, and that means a lot. And we will keep using this platform to support people on the ground that are really on the front lines of this. This week, our focus is on the Democrats in their fight against the White House and the Republicans over funding DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Democrats are asking for what really should be the utter bare minimum of guardrails on any law enforcement agency, including requiring ICE to obtain judicial warrants instead of administrative warrants before arresting immigrants. Administrative warrants are relatively easy to get. Restrict operations near, I can't believe we're saying this, schools, churches, polling places, medical and childcare facilities. Like, horrible.
I am not making light of this. I feel like every show I watch, like even like The Wire, that's like a known thing.
No, that's a bright red line.
Even in like the dark underworld of, I don't even know what to call it, like gangs and shit, like
bright red line.
And that's just from TV. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, it's horrible. And these are the tactics that they're using. Another thing, allowing state and local governments to investigate and prosecute potential crimes in cases of excessive force. Seems like an obvious one. Pass a reasonable use of force policy. I don't know if they have one at all. It seems full immunity as the policy right now. And then prohibiting ICE from masks and requiring officers to display their name, their ID number, and the agency they work for. We don't know if these people are just dressing up in camo gear and like getting, we don't know. Like, there's no way to know what's going on, where they work, who they are, and no way for anybody to identify them, which is obviously very dangerous. And the White House has rejected these so far. So something that we can do and that we're asking our listeners to do this week is to call your senators and either tell them to keep pushing back or thank them for pushing back, but to just give that feedback, hear from their constituents. Like, we need to be that drumbeat in their ear. You can go to www.commoncause.org to find your representative based on where you are, find their number, and call them. So that's this week. Still thinking of everyone, still just like sending out, our thoughts and our energy and our strength. Nobody's forgetting about this. Definitely not here on A Touch More. So thank you again for that voicemail. We needed to hear that also, and we got your back.
Before we do the show close, I feel like today I've just been on this kick of like, let's end on a positive note, right?
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the videos of Punch the Monkey, I just remembered this.
Oh my God.
Just go check it out. I think we're all wanting to adopt Punch. I mean, I'll even take the orange. I think it's like an orangutan
Good
stuffed
morning
animal.
to Punch and Punch only.
Oh my God.
Wow.
We love you, Punch.
We love you, Punch.
I think Punch is starting to be accepted.
Yeah.
That's the last video I caught.
Yeah.
It was tough there for a while. He was, then he wasn't.
Yeah.
Now he is again.
I think he's in.
So yeah, we love you, Punch.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I love that end. That's it for this episode.